And now, the time fight fans all across the globe have been waiting for. It's the MTMV main card with your man, The Voice. As always, in the opposite corner, my mano y mano, my perfect sparring partner, the butcher, the baker, the word maker, none other than Iron Wildress Ruff.
I'm not going to take your slander on Food Week, okay? I'm with it. My low vibrational plates are ready to be eaten, and I'm here for a fight this week, so I'm not even concerned about that, you know. But I'm gonna give you your
low
intro.
Vibrational plate.
My low vibrational plate.
Okay, I'm gonna have to find out about that.
You got to be on social media more, Voice. You know what I'm saying? I work in social media. This is what I do, sir. But I'm gonna give you your intro though, ladies and gentlemen. This is the man, the myth, the legend, the flubberer himself. The flubberer himself, the man with the shiny no hat on. The Voice. The Voice, how you feeling, sir?
I'm good. Just like in order to light the fire, guy, we don't need no matches. I don't need no hats.
I see that. But you slandered me pre-show, but we're not even going to discuss that. We got some great things to talk about today. Some great things to get into. Of course, combat sports as usual. But let's first get into KOs and low blows. Voice. Looks like we're getting one of the fights that we've been asking for. Gervonta Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, it's finally happening in 2023. Now, if you didn't get a chance to see it, Ryan Garcia is actually with.
I think if he wins his fight against Hector, if Tank does, then it'll be happening.
I feel like it's going to happen no matter what. It has to at this point. I don't really think he's going to lose to Hector, but we'll see what happens. But Ryan Garcia was recently with Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson decided to call Tank Davis on the line, and it was not pretty. Now, with that fight planning to be made in 2023, is there any possibility that we're finally going to get Spence Crawford in 2023 also? We know what happened with that, but I want to get your thoughts on that.
I would hope so, and honestly, as much as the fight has been bandied about, many pundits have said that wasn't going to happen until 2023 anyway. How salty the promoters are regarding what Bud did is really going to determine whether or not the fight happens. It took him forever, but they did give him everything that he wanted, only for him to go a different way. So are they going to play harder ball this time? I don't know. And honestly, Bud keeps saying, I don't need this fight for my legacy. I don't need this fight for my legacy. And his actions are showing he feels like he doesn't need this fight for his legacy. We as the boxing public believe differently for both his legacy as well as Spence's. And he was on, Bud was on the MMA Hour recently. And he talked about how he believes that Spence wants the fight. It's just that the business of boxing is getting in the way of the fight taking place. So hopefully they can get their business together and we can see the fight. And it's not like many years down the road and past prime, i.e. Mayweather Pacquiao. So that's what we don't want to happen. But we are treading very close to that territory.
Well, I mean, definitely is going to be looking forward to seeing if it happens. There's so many fights that I want to see in 2023, but those are literally, for me, the two biggest, only because there's been so much back and forth between them, all four of them, that it's literally time to make it happen. Now, after last week's win by Usman, I have to ask you, is Khabib currently the best coach in MMA? I mean, the team has been on a tear lately. They got a great record. They're coming off an incredible win. Is Khabib literally the best coach right now in MMA?
I don't know that I can say he's the best coach in MMA, but what I can say is that he, hands down, is coach of the year. When I was going to call him Israel, and that is not his name. Islam. When Islam went to face Charles Oliveira, people were like, okay, this is really going to show something, because Islam, like Habib, really hadn't fought anybody until he fought for the title. Wasn't his fault. He was matched up just like Habib was matched up with people, but for one reason or another, those fights fell out. Same thing on both ends. They were matched up, just couldn't get it done, but he's the champ now. He looked really, really good against Charles Oliveira. Like Habib good, like he's not gonna lose good. I would like to see eventually the rematch with the person that did beat him, because he beat him in the UFC. So that would be very interesting as time goes on. But with that win, he can be really stamped himself as, okay, yeah, I'm that dude. And then you turn around and have Usman really do the same thing. Patricky was saying the same things as everybody else was saying about Islam before he won. He hasn't fought anybody. Well, he fought somebody, beat the snot out of him, just like Islam. So you can't say that anymore. Not only have they fought somebody, but they are also the reigning champions. And they've got other killers in their camp as well. So is he the best overall? I don't know. I really don't know, because really everyone that he's coaching, he inherited from his father. This is really still father's plan that's taking place. He's just carrying it on. So when we see like him take someone who's not from Dagestan and train them and coach them up and make them winners, then I could say, yeah, we can call him the best coach out there. Until he does that, I can't say that. I can't say he's coach of the year. And he's so boss as a coach and really following father's plan. He wasn't even at Usman's fight.
Yeah.
Javier was the main person in the corner, just like Javier was the main person in his corner, even though his dad was the one that laid out the whole game plan. So he's definitely following father's plan. We need to see him again take someone who doesn't have father's fingerprints. When that happens, then we can definitely crown him as the best.
I mean, that's a pretty good assessment, but at the same token, isn't it kind of almost the same thing? If father teaches son the same thing and his son takes in the same game plan, wouldn't it basically be, the same thing that's happening? I don't see a change though.
Well, I mean, again, though, this is the game plan that his father put in place. He's just continuing to run it. Most of the heavy lifting was already done.
Gotcha.
So I want to see him implement something on his own.
Okay, well, that's a fair assessment. Well, currently the team is 142-11-3, and after literally they're currently closing out a great 2022. So it'll be interesting to see how 2023 plays out with them with those wins. When we come back, we have some great fights to talk about. Kayla Harrison versus Larissa Pacheco, Jose Zepeda versus Regis Prograis.
There you go. Third time's a charm.
And also Dillian Whyte versus Jermaine Franklin. All spicy fights. We got some great things to get into. Let's go ahead and take a quick break with a message from our sponsor, Ozell, and we'll be right back.
It's not just about the love of the game. It's about dedication and commitment through the process and the patience to endure. There's joy in reaching your goals and peace in knowing you've done all you're supposed to do. Ozell brand. It's not just a brand, it's a lifestyle.
And welcome back. Boys, we got some great bouts to get into. We're not too busy this weekend. Of course, everybody's preparing for those low vibrational plates, that good dry turkey, and some delicious dressing. So,
I don't know about good dry turkey.
Every turkey is dry. I don't care who makes it unless it's like a fried turkey. So,
That's how you're supposed to get it. I got made turkeys to be fried.
I got solid beef with the turkey. But let's go ahead and get into it. So one of women's boxing's greatest currently is going to be fighting on November 25th at the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden on a 12 fight.
It's women's MMA, but I'm not gonna use.
In
this season of thankfulness. In the season of thankfulness, I'm not gonna use the record scratches today.
Hold up.
But I am gonna make sure that is right.
In all fairness, I have everything switched around, so that's my apologies. I messed up. You know what? Do the record scratch.
No,
I deserve it.
No, that's what grace is. Grace is you deserve. No, that's actually mercy. You deserve something, but you don't get it.
I'm slipping, yo, because I know this for sure. So Kayla Harrison is going to be going up against Larissa Pacheco in the PFL finale. Now, the bout Harrison is actually saying is going to be her last and her final season appearance in the PFL. Now, she stated she intends to actually move on to more of a super fight schedule in 2023. I'm excited to see what that is going to be about. Now, this is going to be the third bout between the two. And while many see this as a foregone conclusion, Larissa is talking a good game. She actually believes that due to the fact that she's already lost to Kayla twice, that an upset is literally in the books. Now, she recently stated, I can speak assertively that I know how her game works. She beat me twice doing it. I'd find it very hard to believe that she'd change her game plan for the third fight. So I feel like this is a card I have my sleeve up. Just knowing what to expect and being able to work around that. Voice, I mean, listen, Larissa just stated it. I see the look on your face. It's a look of disgust. Tell me, what are your thoughts on that? And what do we expect from Kayla Harrison in 2023?
I'm not disgusted, but I mean, she has a point. Hey, she's not going to bring anything new or different. The problem with that, though, is you haven't been successful in either one of those attempts. And you had a long time in the cage with her regarding that, because I believe they fought for the championship last year, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go back and do my due diligence. But it was the main event for the tournament championship, which means it was 5 full rounds, and you lost. And the time before that, it was 3 full rounds, and you lost. Now, you haven't fought her in what? Almost 3 years now, because last time was back in 2019. And really, a lot can change in 3 years. In 2019, Harrison was still pretty green. You know, that was like her first full season in the PFL, which meant that it was her first times fighting in MMA. Mm-hmm. So you've given her time to get better. Like, not much is going to change. A whole lot should be changing in that time frame. She's had a whole lot more fights. Was getting ready or signed with Bellator, and then got matched. So, which that leads into her whole super fight statements, which is interesting because this is a pay-per-view by PFL. And I don't know who was in the room when they decided to come up with a price point, but it's too high.
Oh, wow.
Ain't nobody spending $50 for a PFL.
It's 12 fights, though.
But only the championship ones are on the pay-per-view.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah. So and now based on, or I should say, kudos to them because they've done a good job of turning over talent. The only person who's fighting, or I should say, the only person who can win the title for a consecutive time, or even win it and have won it before, is Kayla Harrison. There'll be a brand new champion crowned in every other division. So kudos to them for that. Some people have been there before, like Bubba. Bubba didn't fight for the title, but the one of the like light heavyweight champions, or the heavyweight champ, or I should say, fighting for the heavyweight championship, fought for it last year. But the fact that the new champion will be new, that's good. And they got some good stuff on this card, I must say. Kicking off the card with brother of boxing sensation Nico Ali Walsh. I think it's Baggio is how you pronounce it. Muhammad Ali's grandson. So that is enough to say, let me see what's going on. They also have a bunch of vets on the card as well that are fighting. Dana White Contender Series alum Brendan Loughnane, he's fighting for the championship against Bellator vet Bubba Jenkins. Omari Akhmedov, another UFC vet, fighting for the championship. Stevie Ray and Olivier Aubin-Mercier, both UFC vets, both fighting for the championship. And like I said, they got a lot of really good stuff going on the card, including former Bellator champ Julia Budd facing off as well in a very high-profile fight on that card, taking on Aspen Ladd, who just got kicked out of the UFC because she couldn't make weight. So again, they got some good stuff going on. But I ain't spending $50, and I don't think too many other people are spending $50. And the problem with that is you want to do more pay-per-views, but this is going to this may make doing those pay-per-views difficult, which is something you're going to need to be able to do if you're talking about co-promoting.
That's understandable. So now on top of that, what do you think about Kayla Harrison's comments that she's looking to make those super fights in 2023? What could she be alluding to, and how do you feel about her making that?
There's no, or I should say, it's not even a veiled illusion. She's saying, I want to fight Cyborg. That's what she's saying. Either give me Cyborg or give me some other big name that recently, left either Bellator or the UFC, and let me fight them. It's highly probable that Aspen Ladd, if she's victorious against Julia Budd, that would be a fight, or even Julia Budd, because that's been part of the knock on Kayla. She's defeated everyone that they've put in front of her. It's just that as they've done these tournaments, they haven't been able to get the people that they want in front of her. They try to get the highest profile name, put them on the opposite side of the bracket, and they always wind up either losing or getting hurt. So she's like, forget all that. Yeah, I want to see me fight big fights. I want to fight big fights. So forget the tournament. Let's just make these fights happen.
Yeah, we discussed this previously, actually, on a previous episode of the main card, where we talked about her fighting everyone from Cyborg to even mentioning Clarissa Shields. So, I mean, she's dominated so much. Could she possibly be making a mistake? I mean, is it better for her to remain where she is, or... I mean, she's risking a lot with these big fights, considering everyone, for some reason, feels like she hasn't fought as great of a competition as she should have. But I mean, it's like you said, she's really just been so dominant that you don't really know what to make of it.
Right. No, there's no, it's not a mistake unless you want to keep being called, somebody who hasn't been tested. And these are fighters. These are competitors. So they want to be tested. They want to know that they're the best of the best. And the only way to do that is, as Ric Flair said, to beat a man or woman, you got to beat the man or woman.
Woo! There we go. Look at you referencing WWF. WWE, I'm sorry. Professional wrestling.
NWA, WCW.
You're showing your age there, boys, because...
Hey, I do it all the time. I am happy to be a quote unquote old man.
There you go, sir. It ain't nothing but some seasoning. Now following a 3-fight win streak since losing his WBA junior welterweight championship to Josh Taylor, Regis is actually looking to return to his championship ways. He's gonna be facing Jose Zepeda for the vacant WBC junior welterweight title on November 26th. Now, the bout is going to be taking place at the Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Here's the funny thing about this. Regis recently told The Ring that he's basically been preparing for this fight since he lost his title. He said, I haven't been a champion since 2009, so I've been training only for this specific fight to be a world champion. I stayed at 140. I've had offers to go at 147, probably to make more money, but I wanted to be a world champion again at 140, and I wanted to be a 2-time world champion at 140 before I even think of anything else. Now he's going up against Zepeda, who literally is coming off a 5-win streak bout of his own. The only thing about Zepeda is over the last few weeks he's had a lot going on. I mean, recently as recent as November 9th, he was being accused of punching a man while sparring in the gym. And then this Monday, yesterday actually, he was actually in a car accident, which he's going to be okay, and that fight's going to continue. So, boys, both of these fighters are coming in on hot streaks. Both of these fighters want to be champions. What are we looking for in this fight, and how do we feel about Regan's basically saying, even though he's won through his last 3 fights, that this is the fight that he's only been training for?
Well, as he said, he's looking to be, and he said even as early as today, the day that we're recording this, in a press conference, that he had a goal of becoming champion twice at 140 pounds. So everything he's saying, I mean, it really is happening. Now, you said 2009, but it was 19. You know, you didn't see the.
Did I say 2009?
It's all right. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right.
I don't think I said 2009. Did I?
That's all right.
No,
you can run the tape when it's over.
I'm slacking today.
But yeah, he has been looking to do something, and it's been so frustrating for him and for fight fans, because even though he's been fighting as a former champion, the level of competition, it's like, dude, no, why are you not in the mix to fight for a title? Like, what's the problem? You know, Tyrone McKenna, Ivan Redcatch, Juan Heraldez, you know, it's like you should be fighting bigger names. You know, you should be fighting the Ramirez's. You should be fighting the Zepedas like he is. You should be rematching with Taylor, because it's not like that was like it was a runaway fight. It was a majority decision. So, you know, why have you not gotten these fights? So finally, he's able to get it. Will he stay here? You know, who knows? I would say that from an age perspective, I could see why he may be eyeing moving to welterweight. You know, I mean, at 5'8" on paper, you know, he's not that short for the weight class. But really, the telltale sign is he's 33, as is Zepeda. So neither of them have a long time to be boxing anymore, and this is really both of their last shot at the big time. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. You said that Zepeda had an accident this week. He had an accident. He's got all kinds of stuff going on. Will his head be in there? How's he going to look? You know, is he going to be able to redeem himself? He talked about, yes, this is my 3rd shot at a title, and and Prograis cornerman was like, they lied to you. They lied to you. Yeah, it's your 3rd shot, but you're gonna lose again. But either way it goes, this is his 3rd time. He only has 2 losses in his career. Yeah. What were those losses? In title bouts. So will the 3rd time be a charm? Because if it's not a charm, especially at 33, it's not much. I mean, can you go to 147? Yeah, but if you can't beat people at 140 and below, you're gonna beat somebody at 147. You know, unless you're gonna go down in weight, which, I mean, that's something too. But the older you get, you know, the more your grown man weight comes on, and the less likely, or I should say, the much harder it becomes to go down in weight. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. It's going to be redemption for either fighter. Who is going to get the redemption? We'll find that out when the bout starts.
Yeah, Regis said, you know, he's not oblivious to what Zepeda can do. He said, I feel you can hit me. But he said, I feel you can hit me with anything, and it's not going to do anything. But the main thing is that Zepeda hasn't fought a workhorse like myself. It's one of my strong suits. I work so hard in the training camp, I kill myself, and on top of that, there's my hunger. I am here to become champion again. So that hunger is there. We're gonna see how that plays out. There's definitely gonna be a great fight between those two. Now another great fight that's probably not as well-meaning between these two individuals. Dillian Whyte has stated he is looking to leave no doubt in his return to the ring since his loss to Tyson Fury. Now, if he has it his way, it won't just be a bounce back, but more of a full-blown domination when he takes on Jermaine Franklin. Now, the 12-round heavyweight clash is going to be taking place Saturday, November 26th at the Wembley Arena in London. Now, the pre-fight media rounds have been kind of crazy. If there's any indication, this bout is going to be bananas. Now, Eddie Hearn actually got Whyte worked up to a boiling point when he told little-known Jermaine Franklin that he'll make millions fighting Anthony Joshua next if he defeats Dillian Whyte this Saturday in their main event. Whyte, who personally believes that he should actually be the one fighting Joshua if he wins, stated recently to Franklin, he said, okay, so I guarantee you that you don't see 12 rounds. When pressed by Whyte, if he'll win the fight, Franklin stated, whether it's by points or by knockout, I'm coming out victorious. Now, boys, Dillian Whyte has taken a few different losses. So I'm not sure if he should be the one fighting Anthony Joshua, even if he comes out with his win. But, I mean, come on. They're both looking like they are just ready to go, making their meter rounds when they were together. And Eddie Hearns, it seems to just be lighting that flame even more. What are your thoughts on this fight? And what are your thoughts on Dillian Whyte's guarantee?
I think he is wise to make such a guarantee because he really needs to make good on that. You have an undefeated young bull that you're facing, an undefeated fighter who has knocked out 2/3 of the people that he's fought. So you ought to come in and make a statement. This is also a young fighter who's never fought outside the US, a young fighter who's never been on a stage and had a platform like this before. Now, granted, he has been looked at as the next heavyweight hope for a while, but the people he's been fighting, yeah, I mean, I can't name any of them. I went through his resume, and I mean, there's really nobody there. There's one guy who has the last name of Alote, but Alote in Ghana is like Smith in the US. It's like everybody's named Alote. So, you know, whether or not he's related to the boxing champions of the same name, who knows? Yeah, so Franklin is in a great spot. Eddie is right. Let him win and let him fight Joshua. Oh yeah, millions of dollars will be made on his behalf, and obviously Dillian Whyte wants to run that back because Dillian hasn't lost much in his career, only 3 times. All 3 of those times has been knocked out though, and all 3 of them have been for some form of a championship, whether an interim belt like when he was knocked out by Alexander Povetkin, or full-fledged belts like when he was knocked out by AJ and then Tyson Fury in this last fight. So yeah, he should be making those claims, because he should be attempting to do that, because if he is to lose to this guy who's never fought anybody, it's pretty much a done deal.
Now it's kind of a big deal. And before we close out, I want to get your thoughts on this. So I don't know if you know this or not, but Franklin had been sparring with Tyson Fury recently. Also, and Dillian Whyte for some reason is excited about this. I know he recently, if I'm not mistaken, changed his training to Buddy McGirt. So he's saying that he's literally coming with something a little bit new. So I mean, should he feel like he's at an advantage knowing this, or is this just smoke and mirrors?
It's self-talk, positive self-talk, to keep himself motivated, to keep himself in a position where he's still a player at heavyweight. Anytime you switch camps, that first fight is usually a little like, because you all are still feeling each other out. Right. And it's not like the fight with Tyson Fury was that long ago. It was this year. So have you had enough time to even really implement the new wrinkles and things that Buddy brings to the table? You know, so that bears watching. Franklin, like I said, we've already established who he is. So he really has nothing to lose. Nothing at all to lose. I mean, he has his O to lose, but if you lose your O to Dillian Whyte, is that really a loss? I don't know.
I mean, like you said, Franklin, based off of what many have said, he doesn't really have much behind him. At one point, he took like 2 years out of the ring.
Yeah. Recently, I'm sorry, he was out for 2 years and then came back and knocked out the guy that he was fighting. But he should have knocked him out because he was 20, 21, and 2.
He said he actually studied a lot of Lennox Lewis during his downtime, and that's what made him a better fighter and helped him develop his skills more. So it's going to be exciting, literally, to see how this plays out and what happens. Dillian Whyte, during the media presser after Eddie Hearns made that statement, I mean, he looked like he was ready. I mean, he even challenged Jermaine to a street fight right then and there. So win, lose, or draw is going to be an exciting bout to see. Now, it's a short week, so we definitely got everyone prepared for a great week in combat sports. Before we leave out, Voice, I want to give you your final word to give us anything else we should be looking for, anything else that we should be waiting to see this weekend. Give us your thoughts.
Nothing else this weekend, because literally these are the only 3 televised fights in North America, and 2 of them are pay-per-view. So you got that aspect of things. Looking forward to seeing the fights that I can see. I do not plan on paying for anything I haven't paid for already. So we'll see how things work with that. But yeah, I'm just thankful that you all have joined us on the main card with this relaunch this year with Wilders. Thank you for reading the articles. Thank you for engaging, with us. And we want to encourage you. Engage more. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share this with all of your fight fan friends. Join us at 6:15 Central Time on Tuesdays and chop it up with us. This is my team, my voice. We want to hear from you and give you a voice on our platform.
Definitely. It's definitely been a pleasure. I remember you reaching out and being like, hey, I know you're not big into combat sports, but I feel like you'd be great at it. It's been a pleasure over the year. I'm excited for next year. I'm going to get these names down. I'm going to come back. I'm going to be perfect. I took some losses today, but it's all good. I appreciate you all for being patient and literally tuning in with us. Shout out to everyone who literally watches, likes, shares, and subscribes. Like Voice said, MTMV Sports. We are a bunch of individuals who love sports. We put a lot of time into this, a lot of love in this, so we can make sure that we bring you our thoughts, because we know that they're your thoughts too. These are literally barbershop conversations in podcast forms. We love what we do. If you get a chance, definitely make sure that you visit the website. We got articles on there. You can find out more about everyone who's a part of the network, and just chop it up with us. Voice has been another amazing episode. I don't have anything else. I'm flubbing after calling you the flubber all show. So take us out, sir.
Hey, until next time, everyone, fight the good fight.